Hi everyone, Angus Campbell here. It's Friday the 28th of November 2025. Back in the garage quickly after the last video on Rob's Rocket 3. So we're going to go back onto the Rocket 3, but just a quick one in the meantime. You'll see there's an extra bike in here because I went and rode the B25 SS back from the other unit into this garage because over winter it's running a lot better since we did that, found that car problem, but over winter we just want to do some more cosmetics. So we've got the rear mudguard and rear light to respray, and also possibly, whoops, the phone died. So where was I? Yes, just saying that in addition to the other cosmetic thing is to rebuild the front wheels so we can get the hub on the B25 SS painted the same as the back, but we'll probably do that at the same time as we start stripping the B50, and we'll take all the wheels in at the same time, so that makes sense. Anyway, today we're going to go back onto Rob's Rocket 3 behind me, and we're going to lift the head and also reassemble the sump plate. Oh yes, and I forgot to mention before we do that, we've got these new new sleeve nuts on order. These are definitely wrong. They've been made up from something. Looks almost like a bolt. It's been hacked and then drilled down the inside and tapped. So anyway, I found some new one of those originals. So we've got 4 of those on order. Also copper washers instead of these ordinary steel flats, which they should be. Also, I've just put the carbs, etc. away for now, because the bottom end short cables, the ones that were kinked, I've been trying to test these out and straighten them, but I can't. And the problem with these is that once you raise the chokes, if you want to lower the chokes, and these stick, and they're all stiff, you know, all 3 of them, then the outer cable will just pop out at the lever end, and possibly the cable will come out as well. It just won't work. So I've found some more of these online, some new ones. They're not very expensive, so I've got some of those on order as well. Right, let's get on to the oily beast. The nuts are off, and I've cracked the head gasket seal, which is a bit stiff on the studs. But anyway, I'll try and set you up so you can see me struggling to get this head off. But I just thought I'd point out, and I've just noticed in the meantime, that you can probably see it. This exhaust stub is very shiny. I hadn't noticed it when I took the header off before, and it's a sticky, oily goo. So I think that pot may have been burning oil. Anyway, let's see. I'll set you up and we'll have some fun. She's coming. careful here because I don't want to damage the head mating face on the studs. There we go. Right, this is off. Right, I'll get you out of there and then we'll have a look. Firstly, the head then. First thing is oil. Quite a bit of oil around here, and this is the right hand pot, which is the one that you just pointed out. It's got this oily goo around it. Well, there's something else been coming out there somewhere, and it looks as though it's coming out the exhaust. Doesn't look to have been blowing, but it just seems to be some oil about. Chambers look fine. Actually, valve's not too pocketed. They always look black and rich these days with ethanol fuel. But yeah, just oil, which is a sign we probably expected. I checked these nuts on the inlet. They were okay, but weren't really fully tight. So we've done those up. Let's go and have a look at the other thing now. Let's take a torch. Okay, well, they've been honed as we expected, but that one's scored. We'll get a piston part number in a minute. So you can see the honing marks there, but there's not really a very good crosshatch. It's as though the hone's just been chucked in and left there. Let's go around the other side. Quite a few sort of black marks on the inside of the bore on this right hand. But they're not as bad as I was anticipating. Let's see if we can turn her over and have a look at that middle cylinder. There we go. Same story, but as you can see, it's scored. Let's just put a finger on that. Just make sure it's just not, oil making that pattern. Come on, we don't want a disco. We just want a light. Yeah, it's scored. Can you see the vertical scoring? There's a lot of it. Let's go on the other side. Yeah. Look at that one there, even worse. So I think this will be on standard. It's probably done quite a few miles. It's been stood for a while, a long while probably, re-imported, restored, but all they've done is probably cleaned the barrels out by honing and probably put some new rings in, but not pistons. So let's get a number on that piston. Looks like let me just give it a wipe. Yeah, there's a lot of sticky oil. That's the other thing to notice, really. Look at the oil in there. Oil's actually sitting in the piston cutouts for the valves, look. That's better, should be able to read that now. 709741. Yeah, I think so. Right. Let's carry on real time. Get the important cup of tea out of the way. Piston details are on early on in the book on their own separate page in here. What do you say, 9741? There you go. Standard. Yep, I don't need to measure the bores. I think we're pretty conclusive with that. I'll speak to Rob about it. There's a lot of oil being flying around here. Now, you see, where's all this lot coming from? That doesn't look like push rod tube to me. It looks like from down here. And actually we did say, didn't we, when we were taking the undoing the head bolts, we didn't think some of them weren't torqued down properly. I mean, copper head gaskets are fine. But what I'm probably going to do, Rob, is we'll probably go back to the original with some shellac, which is it Corsadil? I'll check anyway. Right, let me have a ponder. Of course, the other place where we might be getting oil coming down are the warm valve guides, and we will actually take these valves out and check them out. But again, oil in between the fins. Also, that valve spring there, is that a replacement? It's not the same as the others, you know, from the point of view of sheen on it. We did mention there's a little tiny bit of bearing on a couple of these valves. You can see a bit of a sort of wear pattern on that one. There's quite a bear on that one on that side. We'll soon find out how bad it is when we strip the head. And you see there's a bit of a wear pattern on that one too. But the edges on that feel alright. Anyway, so not catastrophic. The head's in great nick actually, no broken fins, nice and clean. And I will say that, you know, cosmetically, the engine aluminium has been brought up really well, like a factory finish. It should have this slight sheen on it, but not matte like you get with some sort of the old sort of bead blasting and stuff. Probably vapor blasted. It's not going to really need ultrasonic clean this at all. Okay, well, we'll have a chat with Rob. I've managed to locate a sets of new old stock pistons, 9-to-1s, plus 20s and plus 40s. I should think plus 20s will be fine. Trouble is, you're wherever you go, you're looking at an outlay of about 300 quid for a set. There's no avoiding that. Whether it's from UK, Valonslows have some plus 40s, but you can get plus 20s originals from the States with not too bad shipping for less money actually. So I think we'll do that, but I'll have a chat with Rob about that. And what we might do next actually is start undoing the barrels. Now I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do something a bit positive. We'll put some stuff back together so I can get rid of this damn bowl of oil. So we'll put the sump plate back together, get his gasket set out, get ourselves prepared for that. We'll put the studs in. I'll use, I think I've got red Loctite. Sorry, that's that end. We'll put that in. Put the studs in, we'll get this out of the way. Anyway, let's get prepared, and I'll show you a few clips as I go through that, but it's pretty straightforward to put it back together. Yeah, I'm not on the sump plate. I'm just having another think about this. So this bike has hardly done any miles at all since being restored. So the other consideration, which I thought I'd add into the mix, is obviously that if they put new rings in with this hone, then the rings aren't going to be bedded in. So you're going to get, you might get some oil burning before the rings bed in. But I think we're going to have to lift the barrels because we don't know if they've used new rings or not. And in my experience, after a rebore with new rings, etc., you don't get oil burning. I mean, what do people think? I just think that this is rife for a rebore, because we could take a risk, put it back together with a new head gasket, make sure it's all sealing properly, which this obviously wasn't. But then if it's still smoking, burning oil, etc., then you strip again. I think if we're this far, I think rebore. We've no idea how many miles this bike did before it was restored. That's my thoughts, but let me know what you think. Back on this. Right, that's the kit together. Got some blue Loctite, which will do. With respect to the fitting kit, these shallow nuts that they sent, which aren't correct, by the way, good though, because I can double nut the studs to screw them in properly. Got some sealer, so we'll put either side of the gasket and the sump plate, and a spanner, and ready to go. So we'll screw the studs in first, and I'll bring you back just to show you how well that's gone, hopefully. Right, the studs are nicely in. Sorry, it's not focused too well. So these nuts that came with the kit were good for, say, double nutting to screw them in. Funny thing is that these are supposed to be 7/16 AF, so they open jaw fits, but actually you can't fit a ring around them, so they're not quite the right size. But that doesn't matter anyway. We'll use those washers, nice flat washers, but we're going to be using these locking nuts anyway, which is what it should be. I've prepared the plate and the filter with its sandwich between gaskets, and as you can see, there's a bit of a sheen there of a smear of silicone on all the mating surfaces. So we'll push that up and screw that into place. And this way around, by the way. So the slight recession in the sump plate to the back, and also the hole in the gauze filter for the pickup. There we go, all done. Just got a beautiful full knot on there, so the stud is flush with each of the nuts. Got the drain plug back in with a fibre washer and just a smear of silicone on each side. So we'll let it sump its oil once I've put the bowl of oil back in the tank, and we'll see if it leaks. Sorry if I'm shaking a little bit, it's the drugs, you know. Right, what else have I done? I've loosened off the cylinder base nuts in preparation for taking this off. I quite like to replace actually the Marks and Spencer plastic bag of a gasket as well. But anyway, we'll see what Rob says first, and we'll have a chat to him. So what I'm going to do is leave it there for this one, and then in the meantime, between this and the next video, we'll have spoken to Rob and we'll have an action plan. But we'll leave it there for now, for a relatively short one, for me anyway. And we'll see you all again soon. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for your interest. Any comments and subscriptions? And we'll leave it there. Cheers, everybody. Bye.